onto this mistake, Shane, weren't you? You were just looking for
No,
it.
the second you wanted to start talking like you predicted this, you know, I gotta come in and point out that you absolutely didn't, Vincent.
I did.
You're on the TSM train for I think 1 second. Thank you, scoreboard, for making sure he doesn't look slightly right. You're onto that TSM train for exactly 1 second during our pre-show, and then the second the first test came up and we started talking through it, like you realized the error of your ways.
No.
Into a pistol round here. Sentinels are, of course, on the defense, as they will be for the start of our next two maps. TSM taking the attack first.
So, the control that they're looking for is very obvious, and Zombs-wise it would be very surprising. Sinatraa, in the meantime, Reyna makes it work, and they find one frag after another.
God.
This is just nasty slaughter over there onto Garage. As they come out of it, there's more and more to find. Beautiful stuff we're seeing. That's round number 1 coming in favor for Sentinels.
Sinatraa managing to just life-steal his way through a fight there. Very well done. The Frenzy earning its pay on the pistol round. Sentinels able to hold against the garage shove from TSM. I personally, if we're talking about pistol rounds on Haven, I much prefer the long shove because the attacking team can get a lot of players very close to the bomb site before they are in range for guns. Whereas if you're pushing into garage or something like this, you have really close angles. You have to check lightning fast against an unknown number of players.
Oh,
There will be an anti-eco rush, and Subroza starts strong. TSM find the first pay.
Yeah, I mean, ouch. That was a little surprising to me right there to see that one happening, as this was seemingly very uncautious by them. TSM pick up a first frag with the classic, though Sentinels shouldn't really slip this one away. The weapon advantage is in their hands.
Good early pick. Because Subroza has a rifle now, he just wants to hold, see if anyone will challenge him. It's a really good plan from TSM. Give Subroza a rifle and see what happens. They're trying to inflict as much damage as possible, but of course the spike plant is the primary goal. And that would normally mean you drift away from the axe site at this point, because you know there's been a rotate in. This is good for TSM, because Sentinels have to spread 4 players across the bomb sites, and any double commit to A can't contribute to either the B or C hold. This will probably end up on B. I would actually say C would be a better.
And as you see right there, Sinatraa getting punished in the process in the meantime. Not as well as he wanted it to, but there ShahZaM swaps things up. TSM taking all the control they want. And so Cutler in the close range with the classic once per could do a good job, but you see that there's a lurk happening, and this could become a problem if they don't go through the smoke fast. Cutler is down, one more waiting back on the B side. They know about drone as well at the moment, and this means ShahZaM has to take a few too many angles. As the smoke's gonna fade, Hazed is gonna eliminate him, and that is a brilliant start to TSM's aggression, because sure, the pistol won't work, but such a wonderful eco going their way. Ouch.
No, strategy gives Subroza a rifle, pays off. Not actually because Subroza gets the kill, but it creates enough for TSM. They go for that mid-execute. I was talking about how A players are basically split up from the rest of the map. You saw the case of that there. Because of that initial A pressure from TSM, Sentinels and their 2 players chilling on the A site, they can't affect anything else. Whereas if you have players playing C, garage, that kind of area, they can rotate in. Oh, good shot. They can rotate in and contest B.
And so, A site gets some major reinforcements already. Sentinels rotating every single player over onto A, and if TSM stick to this strategy, it might become a bit of a problem. As I say so, one finds 2 with ease. That's something not falling. The A side collapses, and there's no big problem right here. The second going for TSM, as this has just been a snack for the lads.
Very good side execute. Already showing up there, and it will be a strong start for TSM. 2 kills, or 2 rounds back-to-back were expected after they won the anti-eco. They'll now have full rifles across the board. ShahZaM pulling out that AWP. Sorry, it's the operator. I can't say AWP. He's going to bring that over towards the long A peak. And Sentinels on the shove here will be running right into his crossfire.
Recon Bolt's giving a good bit of information here to the side of TSM. Cypherless approach by Sentinels.
Take flight.
We had that Cypherless thing already going on over on Split, though I think there's a bigger importance in Cypher on Split than on Haven. Yet I still see him as a very crucial component, for example, on holding A or alternatively C. TSM, they take their time here, TJ. Very patient, very slow, and it's all coming down to mid right now.
Shoving forward, I love that. Because they get so close to the bottom of mid so fast, they catch TSM off guard, find 2 for 1 in the trade. Very low HP on Hazed as well.
Very much indeed, but how in God's name did he have any vision on Sinatraa there? Taking out the star of Sentinels, and suddenly it might just all go over to the side of C, where 30 seconds left on the clock could work quite well for them, as nobody holds that position. It's a matter of time until Sentinels should realize what's happening. There comes the first rotation. Wardell goes fast, Wardell goes on site, and this is C belonging to TSM for the moment. As the plan goes for long, it's time to retake this one.
I'm just really impressed with Wardell this round. He's pretty much single-handedly brought them back into it, and Dapr is here to send him out of it. This will be a long hold against, and that fire completely cancels the possibility of shoves. They can isolate Cubby.
No, they do so. And the ShahZaM ones were making it work with the classic. The defenders win, as there is no opportunity at all for TSM to head back onto the side. Remaining on their final Brimstone. A quick check on the ults. See as both Phoenixes could just run it back. Marina also having their ults, and also the orbital to strike from the wonderful Brimstone is available. TSM, a lot of opening opportunities, a lot of info opportunities for Phoenix, for example. Could get them a quite fast approach on the side they choose.
I've really liked that double molly setup from Subroza and Hazed. The first one stopped either challenge so that Subroza could get close to Cubby. The second one just makes sure they isolate the Cubby player.
Careful now.
And as again, both Phoenix have their ults. I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Drone coming through A short swiftly to find out that nobody's actively guarding it outside of ShahZaM. Trying to get a bit more vision over there on long. And talking about it, he falls. Wardell eliminates him. A site that now is only defended by Reyna is suddenly becoming a very vulnerable spot and an opportunity for TSM.
This was a pre-aim that was pretty easy for Wardell because ShahZaM had played that angle last round, but you're still peeking.
Joke's over! You're dead!
There's not as much peeker's advantage in Valorant, so very impressive kill. TSM across the map are playing pretty forward towards the B site. I want to shout out Sentinels for kind of recognizing the options currently
Joke's
available.
over!
They
You're dead!
stacked over towards A, but drifting that towards through the smoke.
And that means Zombs is the last one standing there actively on the B side, but Reyna as well as Sage are coming to join. As Sinatraa though falls, Sentinel's defense crumbles, remaining only on the 2 individuals. Zombs and Sick most likely won't stand a chance in that, as this bomb has hit the ground. And 5 TSM players. That's not really an easy task. That's not really that kind of obstacle you want to go over. And so, heading backwards, saving the weapons, and their Sentinels, they had the awareness of what's happening on the A site. Nothing with the ultimate of Phoenix, but it was just too late. And then, TSM knew what they were doing. Suddenly the hunt has started on the last few weapons.
The op on Sek right now is a lot of money. If he can keep it up,
Look
that
what happened. Ah, there it falls. Talking about it.
That was almost one thing.
I got a little uncomfortable here.
Subroza, despite being saved by the round ends, just had one of his best rounds of this series. Rushing onto the site, finding a free kill through the smoke, just spamming the link. Really well played. Then he's on the hunt, denying that save of the AWP. Incredibly well played. We now have a broken economy as a result over on Sentinels. They do have a double buy-up to even up the econ. Keep your eye on what that bulldog is up to.
Careful now.
See that there. Fast movement coming in from Dapr.
Going up.
Side for the previous round. This one it's Phoenix he's picking as tries to isolate that position. They know where the spike lands, but that doesn't mean you can get a kill that easily, especially if Soba now realizing Reyna she's standing in cubby and is coming out. She should fall in them immediately, and that's exactly what happened. Sentinels can only work it off of one man, and as TSM got every single opportunity to go pretty much everywhere they want, should get a fourth with ease. Saying so, Zombs falls.
If Zombs can find himself like one more kill here, this is a one round no matter what. As is, the amount of economic damage they did into this round is already huge. And I really don't like how split TSM are playing right now. The theory is solid, Subroza is cutting off the rotate, but if he doesn't drift back towards A right now, he's going to get in trouble. Luckily, Subroza is a great video game player, so he's well aware of this.
Surprise.
He will be over to the A site before the timing works out such that there could be a challenge from A long. And Bulldog in hands, you could maybe pick up a rifle from long, make a case for just saving. Zombs looks like he wants to just push them.
I mean, the economy of Sentinels doesn't really allow it.
He's got himself a rifle. Plenty of guns dropped. Really good econ rounds. He did just trip the trap wire though, so he's gonna get hunted. Really good econ round though, assuming he doesn't die. TSM have only one player to hunt him. This will be Subroza.
And even the economy from TSM is not that great. I mean, getting that frag that brings TSM only down to 2 individuals was extremely pivotal. Speaking so, Zombs falls last second, and this means that, well, it could have been at least one man with thicker pockets. Not in this scenario. Sinatraa buying up any second soon.
Still will be a full buy, but they, I think, would have scraped together an orb if they had the extra bank account on Zombs. So, a little bit of a shame on that front. As is, Sentinels will have a full buy across the board. It is another gun round. TSM with the lead on this map.
Run!
Won't be losing things.
Then realizing how to use Soba right. I mean, he definitely pushed everybody away from the side of A. In the meantime, the read of Sinatraa is amazing, but Wardell knows the reply and the antidote. As Reyna falls, garage is fairly open. It just depends on the approach from Sentinels right now. They send Brimstone into the location and shift the majority of the players over to C. But Sentinels, they still got a good bunch of options for the moment.
Wardell will drift back to play safe. All of TSM cancelled the push after that initial trade. I am really interested in that pick that Sinatraa got. It looked like it was just a pre-lined up spam, because that's just the entry through the courtyard, right? But it wasn't start of round. The door was already shredded. So my theory is he spammed start of round, then waited a beat, then fires through the wall again to find another kill.
Could have possibly been the case, absolutely. This is where the recon dart of ShahZaM is going to become very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to if he's going to put it to use anytime soon, but most likely he doesn't. Sinatraa is being revived, and Sentinels back on to full force. The Molotov denies a good bit of access. Drone is just now pushing on the site and being revealed. Same for his teammates, and that is not going to work. It comes at the right time, and that's denial.
Still got it.
And even that way, you get more and more. Beautiful
Hazed finds a triple spray down to close out the round, but it's still unwinnable. Good ability usage by Sentinels on the site. You very correctly called out Zombs' contributions to the round. His Molotov stopping the push into the site initially. That takes it long enough that you throw down the orbital strike. Just end the round instantly.
Together. Still got it.
Taking a look at it again. That was amazing by Hazed, but you saw how crucial and how goddamn good that ultimate was. Won them the round and got them a
Smoke's
third
down.
on the board. Means now Zombs is trying to deny them any further on getting onto B. It seems like they're having none of that, as Wardell tries to join, fails to do so, and Sick with the double might make it a triple anytime soon, but Drone replies correctly. This is the B site that became pretty much a slaughterhouse at the moment, and nobody of TSM comes out as a survivor.
ShahZaM will be just holding this corner, waiting for Cutler to dare step out of his spawn.
Goner.
As Hazed gets picked up, the only member of TSM left is Cutler, who was hiding in the spawn, and even that is not safe. Sentinels get real aggressive that time, and that is very viable here on Haven. Because of how spread out the map is, the more aggressive you can hold defensively, the fewer parts of the map you actually have to worry about. Sentinels were able to do it there because of their initial picks. Obviously, it's not a tactic you could reliably pull off against a team as good as TSM. But it is something to keep your eye on if TSM keep over-grouping towards one side at the start of round. If Sentinels keep getting aggressive, it will punish exactly that.
Shock dart.
And for now, Sentinels, a team that is not so successful,
Revealing area.
might just reveal their value over on this free-sided map. A slow approach from TSM, have not really made up their mind yet where to go as they try to find a bit more information and might hope for a mistake on the Sentinel side. In the meantime, they know going in the direction of Sinatraa when it comes down to this wall really doesn't pay off. It's a minute left on the clock and it's time to finalize your thoughts and make up your mind, and Phoenix seemingly does so.
And this is the effect of that aggression in the previous round. You can see TSM playing very, very safe, waiting for a shove to come in. So Sentinels, because they were so aggro last round, get a minute burned off the clock for TSM before anything happens.
Deploying
Without
drone.
needing to be aggressive this time.
The hunt begins.
That might become interesting. Saying so, Reyna's coming for you. Subroza's down, and there he knows there's more to come with just that. But that's denial. The wall banks are too massive. Sinatraa moves back and needs to hope for a heal. Gets that one for herself, or more likely himself in this case. And that one is seemingly done and dusted. One after another fall. Sentinels only got Wardell in the way, and the 5th round belongs to the squad. It has to make it look, you know, a little bit more confident when it comes down to this map.
A result, again, of how much time was burned at the start of rounds. TSM had so little time to use utility. By the time they're actually pushing in, you still have full kit from Sentinels. They still have everything in their bank account to make sure no shove comes through. TSM with 45 seconds left, can't wait out anything. They've got to start pushing through smokes into the blinds from the Lear. That pays huge dividends for Sentinels.
It very much does. In the meantime, frags are coming in left, right, and center. Brilliant job by Dapr, as TSM can only rely on to 2, and just a few seconds have passed. With that being said, the C side seems to become their main goal, as Sick is moving away from it. He's placed the wall, but it's not made out of concrete. It's just ice, and this one is melting anytime soon.
Very, very fun. Sorry, I'm just catching up on what you just said, Vincent. Does that imply concrete melts? I'm going to get back to you on that. Very, very clean positioning from Sentinels. They know what's going on here, so they're going to wait, not re-enter immediately. Wait till they have 3 players here. Then quick.
Blocking sight.
And as you see right there, Wardell realizes that he needs to move out of the flames. Sentinels still got a quite massive obstacle coming their way. That operator is such a dangerous tool in the hands of Wardell. So his movement is somewhat limited. Here comes the ult. Wardell trying to make it with the jumps. Can he deny the fuse? Dapr knows exactly what he's doing. And this causes once more the defenders they find quite a bit of success. The 6-4 is just wonderful to watch from Sentinels. As in the meantime, TSM really have to change something up in their game.
Really well played by Sentinels positioning and cooled it down in round. But the fact they understand, okay, we've got to hide around the corners, just wait till we get some kind of sign, so we're not playing 1v2 on site. And the push comes in from TSM, rotate comes through. Just fundamentals, but very well executed fundamentals.
You see what I see,
Do
you see what I see?
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh,
I had
Rambo
like
has
a moment of joy. I was like, oh my god. Why is my screen gone grey? Answer was Sinatraa opening up. That's the same wallbang he's been doing every round. Previously, he was being really, really careful, you know, spamming at tactical times.
Right.
Now it's just Odin go burr. This is a full C rush nobody's looking at because it's ice walled. That ice wall won't hold back TSM.
Joke's over! You're dead!
And as we're seeing right there, Zombs and his crew are realizing quite easily that this C side is not to be retaken that easily. As, you know, even the Odin can't change that fact. TSM, though, with a man disadvantage, might just lose another, but no, that's not the Odin job that could have worked. Wardell falls, retreat. Pardon, it's gonna retreat coming in immediately. As Sick and Co. Really gotta consider if they do so. They really gotta consider it. Sneaking up here from Garage. Sick is coming in with the double. The revive was not the right move, but ShahZaM is still on the hunt. Saw a bit of the shoulder and makes it work. Sentinels keep up the pace, and they keep on performing in a way that's so enjoyable.
Pulls out the rifle. Goes just as big on it. Sentinel, despite a bit of a fumbled res there, I can't think of a world in which it is safe to go for the res there unless you think the final player is holding all the way down long. But you can gain that information real quick by pushing out on the side. Get the res afterwards. So a little bit sloppy, maybe some mixed up comms there, but Sentinels don't lose it because of ShahZaM's capable rifling. He has been struggling this game. A lot of that, I think, can be attributed to the fact that these shoves have tended to be over towards the B and C sides of the map, so it just hasn't seen too much action. We'll have a chance here, though. I think we can get a quick challenge to start the round. He got another one!
I would really be upset. I would really be upset, but I mean, this guy is continuously putting a laser through that wall. You don't really want to run into that. And as that laser was successful, TSM down to 4 players. As 6 starts up, ShahZaM might just join the party. Exactly thus. Suddenly, the options run out for TSM. With 1 minute and 10 left on the clock, they're gonna make it work with 2.
What? Why are they still peeking courtyard? I don't understand. How many times has Sinatraa found the kill with that exact wall spam? Now twice in a row with Odin, which is not, I might add, the most subtle gun. A 1v4 now. Cutler does find one and gets orbital struck out of the video game. 8-4.
This is a very worrying situation right now here to be in for TSM. I mean, they're a dominant, strong force. They're a tank on this wonderful map called Haven. They make great defense. They make great
Sentinels.
I don't understand what it is.
Nobody guarantees map wins against a team as good as Sentinels.
That's true. That's still the weird aspect to me.
No, the Sentinels defense was just really clean, and now that it's TSM's side on what I consider the spotlight side of this map, what I mean by that is defense is the space where your errors make the most difference on Haven because you have those 3 bomb sites. So if you make errors on defense, it will define the game. You have a room to influence the game outcome. So on their side here, I was very curious to see how their balance would work out, and it turns out it is literally Cypher solo A.
Caught one.
Strap that people want these days.
This is what makes a good Cypher. Tripwire for a free frag, even when you're smoked. And that is right now causing a bit of trouble. Nobody even knows where everybody is. And Sentinels only got 2 options to make this work. Let me correct it. It might be just one anytime soon. As Wardell walks around the sites, Dapr falls, and this means We'll take a look at that. The bomb is just absolutely changing directions. This could be a quite good one here for Sick, as he can make it work whatever way he likes. He changes up pace.
Oh, I like that ice wall.
That's the fake wall,
I
right?
really like that ice wall. Obviously they can get through that, but
no.
they have to sound cue him so he can bait it.
Oh.
He doesn't peek this, ideally, and then waits till he through the sound cue of them fighting.
Opponent-
Ice
Oh,
wall
this is so
and
good.
does that.
This is so good. Ah, this is enjoyable from Sick. He outplays them, knows where the bomb is, and just needs to do 1 or 2 shots here on the remaining Sova. Just right now, waiting for the right peak. Jiggle and jiggle. There comes the defuse in. Just once more has been aborted, and Sick keeps on playing. He keeps on playing games. It's him reloading, but it's not being Sick. Sick, do something about this, please. It's 1 more shot, and this man might just save the day. My God, Sick.
All right, the reload was a little rough, but Sick, absolutely dominant there towards the end. I love the ice wall. I love the play around it. Just very content, not peeking. Says, I'm just going to jiggle peek this corner until you come out and fight me. Beautiful.
This was astonishing, wonderful. What do you want to say about that? I really, really loved seeing it like that. And so, TSM very unsatisfied about the round.
So, good opener.
Deploying
My
drone.
analysis. I'm just popping up with the Bulldog, which I always respect. My stream went very briefly to hell. I don't know if you saw that, but the feed I'm watching was dipped in hot sauce for a real quick second. Sentinels will benefit from the opening trade, of course, because TSM now need to cover 3 bomb sites with 4 players. More so than most maps, even trades favor the attacking side. They're going to try and exploit this with a full A shove. Again, it is solo Cypher. None of the setup, of course, he normally has, though, which should mean this is a pretty clean round.
Light planted.
Absolutely. I mean, it should be a clean round with ShahZaM playing Hazed. That's a step in the right direction, and post-round placement ends with Zombs suddenly on 5 points of health. I'm not quite sure how long he has seen Wardell up there. It's a little crazy, but either way, that should not work out for TSM, especially when those stars land in your direction. It gets a little uncomfortable. More and more coming in the direction of Cutler and Co. There they collapse. 2 parted, 3 more rounds for Sentinels to make this an easy 2-0. And I mean, my prediction is already down the drain, but it might just become worse.
Really well played. Very clean round. We'll now get decent buy-ups for the TSM side. Sentinels sticking with their Bulldogs. I didn't realize they invested so much into the previous round. Normally you leave a couple players on weapons you can buy through, but they didn't, so they're just going to have to full keep into this one, otherwise risk ruining their economy. They have exactly 1 real gun, that's 6 Phantom.
See right here, Sinatraa just pushing through, gets immediately punished by Cutler. The defense of TSM is still alive with Subroza joining it. C is still under pressure and finally has collapsed. The retake comes in any second soon. With Sobabroom and Phoenix, definitely a quite good one. Those characters, those agents have the capability to regain control. As Hazed, first of all, makes work of the bullets, takes down Zombs. Sentinels, they take room, they want to take control, and they make that work so brilliantly. Sick only has a close-range weapon anyway, and that means he gotta use it, and Dapr joins that job. 11-4. Sentinels constantly pushing TSM in an uncomfortable position.
That was really unfortunate timing. I believe it was Hazed. Or sorry, Drum. Pulled out the arrow. Literally as the peak came through. TSM having a really rough time here on the defense, and I think generally on Haven, it is safe to say at this point. This, if it is one, would be a very clean 2-0 for Sentinels.
And as right now, Sentinels play a very default setup, most likely heading for garage control. Exactly that is what's happening. Can't be though taken in control that easily. Rotation from TSM is immediate, and A site is absolutely empty at the moment.
This is, of course, a double elimination bracket, so TSM not out yet. We're here in the winners' finals. But they have to work their way back into the grand finals later today. There is our mid-shove.
Come on, let's go!
And as the flash comes in, Hazed eliminating Zombs with East. TSM still need to find a way back into this. Dapr still, collapses nearly as though he takes out Wardell in the process. TSM's defense is still strong enough to do something about it, but how strong is it overall as they all just join the sites? That is poor Sick, who just might fall any second too. They know where he stands. They know he's just about to be trapped. Left, right, and center players join. Sinatraa right now comes in as reinforcement and has to do one more job. The classic! And he takes the burst on him.
Sinatraa, stop doing it to him! He B-hops around the corner with the classic, knows he's mid-reload. Says, I can nail this guy. Beautiful. As a result of that, and I want to give a shout out to Sick, who doesn't seem like he's a big part of that play. He just hid in the corner. But the reason those kills go to Sinatraa is because Sick stays alive, doesn't take any questionable 1v1 fights, stays in his corner, forces them to push to him, knowing Sinatraa is going to swing around mid, be able to find picks on people who are distracted. It's very well played by Sick as well as Sinatraa, who obviously have the Sick aim. Anyway, as a result of that, it is now Sentinels at map and match point. TSM on the brink of being knocked down to the lower bracket.
Revealing area.
Booking their ticket to the grand final.
The hunt begins.
Very well deserved in the beat. Right now, it's time to use the ult. And as they're trying to enter the site, Hazed finds two in the process. Cutler is doing his job as well, and this suddenly is a round that seems to not work out for Sentinels at all. As that is a nice shock dart for ShahZaM, and I can't really imagine he's going to use something like Hazed as well, and he's going to fall. Nope, World did a nice that. And TSM are on track, are possibly back on track to fight for a third map.
Very well done off of the first gun rounds they've gotten. It looked much better because they were able to play with the advantage of those ranged peaks. That is how the seaside should be helped into a push like that. Sentinels didn't do a whole lot there. Just kind of, I don't know, run C, see what happens. Turns out TSM aren't terrible. They're a good team. They'll still shut you down if you go back to that much basic.
Smoke's down.
Nowhere to run!
Now, the ult comes our way. Dapr takes out Wardell. Subroza replies, and Drone also finds ShahZaM. TSM will have two quite nice bits for the moment. Sentinels still gonna make it work with just a duo, as A site might be not the right choice for the moment. They still commit to it, or seemingly do so.
Here is the shove onto a defended site. Sentinels committing to rifle.
That means Sinatraa try to do it on his own, but nope. Gets denied before he can change his state. TSM on the run, dear TJ, but for how long? As right now, so, this round most likely will be the
at least
7th.
One more. This is why I called out the choice to go in that round. They are full broke now, Sentinels. That was the second round in a row. They just decided to full send to a map. Got kind of bodied. TSM, I'm very impressed with the role this mental tilt that they must be under off of that losing streak. Keeping the brains still in it. Holding against the easy pushes.
Subroza taking out Zombs. There should be no real chance right here, obviously, for side of Sentinels. Can't imagine anything's happening, and that means we're only waiting for one man to do something. Great.
Come on, Drone.
Come on. Ah, nope.
Oh,
ShahZaM can't do much.
Sorry.
All good.
ShahZaM will find one with the Stinger, though. That'll help out the bank accounts a little bit. There should be another full buy from Sentinels. No AWPs on the cards, but it will be full buy. So, You can expect to see this shove end up over towards the B side. That's normally what that means. Sinatraa, the only long-ranged rifle here. TSM's defense, I want to highlight, is, or was, full stacked onto the B site. That normally signals at start of round that they're going to get really aggressive.
Joke's over!
They're
You're
going to
dead!
Sage, so that B hold is in the case of just rolling it. So they have to push forward and take a little bit more mid-control. Using the ult will just be denied. I'm sorry, your application for our spawn has been denied.
Well, you have to say, this is a quite nice situation for them in the sense that that is no more wall onto Sage. Ah, ShahZaM's gonna miss
It's
it.
ult for ability, though.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Prepare for hellfire!
In the meantime, ShahZaM has to hit that one.
You're dead!
As they still, TSM suddenly found new energy and aggression. And I love it. I really enjoy to see it as they constantly challenge them again and again and again. That could make it work in the end. That could make it work to go into overtime.
So TSM burned a lot of ultimates that round to get econ advantage, which is worth it. Sentinels will keep being a little bit broke. But what this does mean is that they have nothing in the long run, and Sentinels are getting that ult economy of their own online. They do opt on the Sentinel side to throw together a scattered buy. They'll have a full buy next round. Rather than building bank though, they're just making sure they can get back in this as soon as possible, punish the ults that were spent. TSM making a run though. We would be remiss not to mention it. Sentinels have been at map and match point for a while now.
For a long while. It was 12-4 if I remember correctly. And those 4 rounds from TSM came from the very beginning of this game. Ever since Sentinels just went into the driver's seat and made it look as easy as Lewis Hamilton today. But that being said,
Sorry, is that a car reference?
it is. Yeah, listen, you have to have a
American
niche.
to follow F1. You know, the people I know that are into F1 are filthy Europeans.
Well, filthy Europeans do love their motorsports, and it seems like this inline 5 engine might just fire on every single cylinder over on the A side any second soon. Part of it, that's only 4. One of the cylinders failed. And this just means that this side might become fairly vulnerable. It is Wardell bouncing back with ShahZaM. He has to hold from under heaven. Sick is not even checking on that.
What a sick flick from Wardell to shut down Sick. TSM will clean up the anti-eco. Just like that. We're back on a gun round for Sentinels. We've got ourselves a full bank account. This is where the ult advantage I called out. They spent Orbital Laser and Phoenix ult, run it back. Both down mid to guarantee a round win, guarantee those last 2 off the economic reset. Now Sentinels have the ult econ advantage, which does matter because they can just blow them all for free on this round the second they get even a foothold.
Well, where's the Sentinels we've seen just a few rounds ago?
The hunt begins.
Very much missing them right now, as that Molotov is landing back in window. They must definitely go for the full aggression over onto C. Is it gonna work this time? Immediate revives coming in. TSM, they're back on the 4v4, but the C side has been taken in the process. Sinatraa is on his ult. And TSM, they might have the jet ult, that might work fine, but low HP is not really beneficial there. They still go for it anyway, and that is Wardell falling. They know where also Cutler is standing.
I know exactly
and this means
where
TSM
you
only
are.
down to 2, but there's the info. There is the ult from Cypher that could be so goddamn useful to it as they gain all the information they need to. Joel just pushes through, can't take out ShahZaM. Cutler is gonna possibly do it. It's only down to him, but there is an orbital to strike, and that's just nasty. This is paying too much
Spent
time,
early,
this is
though.
costing him too much.
That was spent early. That could actually lose this.
Not necessarily. Not at this point anymore.
Okay.
Under no circumstance.
Very well played. Sentinels close things out. 13-9 on map number 2, dropping TSM to the lower bracket.